How y'all doing tonight? I done did my push-ups and sit-ups in the yard. Y'all come on in, let everybody know I'm live. Let me share this screen. Oh shoot, I forgot to do the dang it, I forgot to turn the thing off before I started the live. Let me see if I can still do it. I might let me do it. But we got this first story. DC stands up for Trump. This on Doc Rich channel again. Let's go over this video first. We got a lot of news to go over tonight. So let's get it cracking. Uh-oh.
President Trump announced the federal takeover of D.C.'s police department. The New York Post reports that high-dollar donors like George Soros have pumped more than $20 million into protest groups currently organizing demonstrations in the district.
Why are you here? You're trying to arrest innocent people?
According to the White House, 45 arrests were made last night for reasons including assault, drug distribution, and illegal firearms. 29 illegal immigrants were also apprehended. The district's police chief, Pamela Smith, announcing today that local police will begin sharing information on undocumented individuals with immigration agents.
Washington, D.C. is at its worst point, and it will.
Yeah, so.
Why does it look like I'm in the wrong live? Hold on, y'all. Okay, that look like this is the real chat now. Okay. I don't know what was going on. They had me in the wrong live. They had me in the wrong live, Jack. Again, this is on Doc Rich channel.
Off the streets. Why do you have a problem with how the government is solving the problem? The fact of the matter is this: they need help and the streets need to be cleaned up. So if you're not going to let them come live with you, take a shower in your bathroom, take a shit in your toilet, I don't see what the problem is. We have the same problem here in LA, right? You got to understand something. Most of these people are mentally ill or a drug addict, right? And they need help. They're getting the help they need. They don't have family members to come pick them up, drop them off. So social workers, police, and mental health teams are out there on the streets doing their jobs. I don't see what the big deal is. I don't see what the problem is. I don't see what the complaining is about. We're never going to fix this country if every time somebody makes a decision, the people complain, especially with one like this.
And it's not even the people. It's paid protesters. It's paid.
Fact. It's the politicians that get paid for this destruction that's complaining. The people all are saying that they agree with this situation. The residents of DC, as you can see in this video that he put together, you guys can watch his responses but I just like the way he put this video together. And all of the people in this video from the city is saying that the city is safer, that they couldn't do the things that they're doing now a few months ago. And so it's about the people, it's we the people. So if the people are saying that the streets are not safe, then I'm going to believe the people. Politicians can do certain things like not report crimes. They took away that gun thing in Chicago where it shows the sounds, or they can catch the gunfire. They took that thing away. So they're not even reporting these crimes now. They're not even showing up. People have been complaining about calling the cops, and cops not even showing up. So I believe the people.
I remember going to the gas station in DC even just a month ago, and I would never do this. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. It's quiet, it's safe out here, man. It's safe. I remember a few months ago, my brother had his door open. Somebody carjacked him right here in Northeast, right up the street, actually. Got carjacked. My SUV got taken. Y'all hear the helicopters out here? Oh, yeah, we got the helicopters out here. Right? You see it's safe.
Safe. Guy is in, it looked like an Escalade. Yeah, that's an Escalade. Guy is in an Escalade, $100,000 vehicle, right? Actually, I think they're over 100,000. And leaving the door open, which he says, somebody he knows, I believe he said his brother, just got carjacked from leaving his door open. And now he's in a over $100,000 car, leaving the door open now. Just walking around like nothing's going on because it's safe. It's safe. Trump is cleaning up the.
Anybody from DC that's in the chat, what would have happened a few weeks ago, a few months ago, if they would have left their car door open in DC? Excuse me. What would have happened? I saw this happening in real time in Atlanta. What was this? Is this beautiful one? Beautiful one. Salute, salute.
So now y'all mad at Trump for cleaning up DC, cleaning up the nation's capital. And I think it's crazy, especially if you're a DMV native. When we go out and do things, we typically go to DC. We all have seen some BS in DC. I've lost friends to gun violence in DC. I've been out partying and heard gunshots in DC. Then you go somewhere like the Wharf to the Felipe Chow and people getting robbed at Felipe Chow. And I can continue, but I ain't really trying to go there today. But it ain't safe, and you can't even really enjoy yourself, man. Oh, one more. They said the Capital One Arena is the most dangerous arena in the country. If you've been down there in Gallery Place, you already know. So knowing that these things affect us and affect our safety, especially y'all with kids, how can you get mad at that? Like, I promise y'all, and listen, I'm in the middle. I don't rock with either party. But if Biden or Kamala was doing this, y'all would be happy. Real talk. Like, I know the little young YNs is out of control, man. And y'all sick of them too. But again, y'all just like to be outraged about anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Okay, I'm feeling like D.L. Hughley. I'm feeling like Roland Martin. I'm feeling like Steve Harvey. Brother, you just don't know your history. If you knew anything about slavery, first of all, if you knew anything about Trump, Trump is a felon. Trump is a felon, so it starts with Trump. And then after we go from Trump, it go to slavery and racism. They holding them back. And that's what I'm going to stick with. I'm feeling like, and I'm in YouTube jail, so I got to start sounding like everybody else. So yeah, this is all systemic racism. This is all DEI. Oh no, wait a minute, that don't fit. What would Ricky Smiley say on this one? What would D.L. Hughley say? D.L. Hughley would just keep blaming Trump. So it's Trump's fault. This ain't nobody's fault but Trump.
perfectly on point, right? Because if this was Kamala or Joe Biden doing the exact same thing, they would all be clapping for it. Oh my goodness, this is so amazing. Thank you for coming to help. Oh my goodness, this is wonderful. They would all be clapping like a bunch of seals in a circus. Absolutely ridiculous.
Do you not understand that this is what the residents want? I'm not talking about the bougie upper echelons, bougie blacks. I'm talking about the everyday grandmas that have to deal with these homeless people peeing and pooping on their steps, and then they have to clean it up. They don't feel safe when they walk into their neighbor.
Oh my God. Somebody peeing and pooping on my step. Man, listen here. I will say this. If you pee and poop on my step and I gotta deal with your pee and poop, yeah, your black life don't matter. I'm gonna want to stump the living. I'm in YouTube jail. Yeah, no, those are not conditions I would want to live up under. I'm in YouTube jail. So those are not the conditions that I would want to live up under. I think that's disgusting. And I think we got to have a standard. And if the standard is they're going to grab these homeless people up, take them off the streets and put them in the shelters and give them a place to stay other than just laying on the floor, impeding the way people want to live freely, then I'm all for it. Damn this. I'm sorry. I think we got to start putting together programs that can be more of a preventative measure before a person get to this point. Because when they get to this point, it's almost over. Yeah, it's almost over. You peeing and pooping on my step. Dang, all this Black Live and this live and whatever. You got it. We are a civilized people. You cannot be peeing and pooping on people's steps. I'm sorry.
Neighborhood, the gangs and the dope boys are just standing around the corner, like, do you not understand this is what they want? I remember working with a community leader and somebody had just gotten shot. This is like 5 years ago. And I remember her praying and she said, Crystal, we're going to have to invoke the National Guard. And that was so foreign to me. Now I understand that these people are helpless. And I'm not talking about the bougie black people that live in their gated communities with their new bills. I'm talking about the everyday grandmothers. And I'm so glad that President Trump cares about that.
See, I'm just saying, the actual residents of DC love what is happening because it is safe. It's just facts.
Hey, make sure y'all understand this too. I forgot to talk about this. The last straw for Trump to trigger all this stuff that's going on in DC was a 3-year-old black girl getting killed. And y'all say he targeted black people, but the last straw was a 3-year-old black girl getting killed.
Hey, sir, I just want to let you know it does not matter what Trump do. Trump can find the cure for cancer tomorrow, and we still gonna hate Trump. It does not matter. Don't even come up here and try to tell us no good story about Trump as if he care about somebody black. You know, coon, that this man don't care about black people. I'm feeling like Steve Harvey and I'm feeling like D.L. Hughley right now. So they taking over what my brain. So this is what I think they would say. You coon. You know, Trump just doing that to get the black vote. That's the only reason why he's doing this. He a dictator. He gonna try to run again. What else? Yeah, so it don't matter what Trump say and do, brother. Some of these people have made up in their mind that they hate this man. He is the worst thing to democracy, the biggest threat. So nothing that he does is going. If you was to say that in a room full of these people that have Trump derangement syndrome, as crazy as I just sounded, you think that everybody would be in agreement that this is a great thing. No matter who did it, this would be great. But I promise you that if you was in a room with one of these deranged people and you say, hey, Trump did X, Y, and Z, he was upset because a 3-year-old black girl got killed. Some of those things I said would probably come up. So I'm just letting you know, they say the craziest stuff.
Y'all care more about hating them than kids. Crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. It's really crazy. Really crazy. Kids being shot, and they would rather have crime continue than to have Trump come in and clean it all up because it's Trump, right? And on top of that, they're being paid to protest, which is also crazy.
Trump has.
If they was in the middle of the ocean, especially some of them actors, if they was in the middle of the ocean and Trump came by on his yacht and they was got they raft had a hole in it and it was going down and they life vest, a shark nipped at it so it's bust and it can barely hold them up, and this Trump throw the rope down, they'll be like, "That's Trump. Leave me, you freaking dictator. F you, Trump," and they'll drown before they get on the boat. I might not like Trump, but before I drown, before I get on the boat, I'm going to get on the boat. And then when I get back to shore, I appreciate you giving me that ride, but I still don't with you. Just want to let you know that. That's more my speed. I ain't that crazy to drown because I don't like you. I think a lot of these people would drown first. And they'll go down like, "Revolution! Let that revolution begin!" And they'll go down and drown. Nobody will know their ass drowned, but before they go down, that's what they would say. These people are nuts.
Done it again. Have you seen the latest videos of DC? The sidewalks are spotless, no trash on the streets, no crowds of people stumbling around. It is peaceful, clean, and honestly, it is refreshing. The locals seem happy. So far, I haven't seen a single video of a resident complaining. The only ones upset are people who don't even live there and just hate Trump. At the end of the day, everyone deserves to feel safe in their own community.
And what a better way than present what she's saying by saying it like that. I like the way she talks. I love her smile. And I like her skin. So I believe everything this woman just said. Yeah, I like this lady.
Facts. People should be able to walk around and not have to be looking over their shoulder constantly. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you cannot tell me this is not benefiting us. It's definitely doing what it's supposed to do. I don't care who versus who, what they mean by what. Baby, it's clean and beautiful. Like how we like. Yeah, you can.
It's clean and beautiful. How we like it. Yep.
See, the problem is, ma'am, you're not supposed to have clean and beautiful. Trump in office is supposed to be dirty all over that place. They supposed to get film of people on that Waka Flocka, that K2, just leaning over sleep. They supposed to get all that because they want to make it look like Trump is running the worst office ever. See, that's probably why Trump cleaning that place up, because it looks bad on him as a leader that right outside of his door and around the corner, people can't even walk up the street, but he says that he's a commander in chief and that he's going to defend the America. So that would look weak if the city that you are right there living in is dangerous a block away from the White House. So I think that was a strategy of the Democrats, if you ask me. And I think another strategy is to make Trump look like some type of hating the black community. But you can see all of these black men and women that are saying, hey, forget what these white liberals and who these people are crying about. Look at what's really going on. We feel safe. And I don't think they want black people to feel safe in the United States, because as long as black males are getting gunned down, everybody's okay. Unfortunately, it took a woman, a young baby, a 3-year-old. So no kid should be getting shot. They're innocent. They don't have nothing to do with idiot adults doing this stupidity. And another little girl got shot in Chicago. So when these females start getting hurt and harmed, I think they're going to change and reshape the mentality of men. They're no longer going to think it's cool to talk about unaliving one another in rap songs, because they're actually doing it in real life. If you're participating in this now, you're complicit. If you know that these lyrics now are real, this ain't just rapping no more. These Negroes is saying they drilling, and you can dang near follow their songs like a murder timeline. You be like, God dang, on 16th Street, I'm gonna shoot them in the feet. And you just be like, what? As long as the beat good, you just, man, You shot him in the neck. Oh man. And we just become so desensitized to these guys telling you what they do in real life.
There we go. Okay. So don't believe the mainstream media narrative that everybody is hating this and that everybody is saying that this is terrible and bad and the whole nine, right? The whole gamut of things that mainstream media says, because that's not the truth. When you actually talk to real residents of the city, okay, not the bourgeoisie, okay, that live off in their own gated communities and are away from the riffraff, the people that actually live amongst the riffraff love it, because now they can go to the gas station to pump their gas and not worry about, their car being stolen behind their back. They can walk down the streets of DC without worrying about being mugged or gunshots being fired in their vicinity, right? They can go to a restaurant and have a good meal without worrying about, some robbery happening, okay? And they love it, as they should. You should love peace.
Dang right, I love peace. Hold on. It says the White House is the heart of the hood for real. It's in the heart of the hood for real. Yeah, they got to clean that place up. Salute to you. 800 people were shot in Chicago yesterday. It's goodness, more Christmas. All right, we're gonna got this video for y'all. A lot of strange relationship behaviors have been going on in the world. So I have to ask, are relationships still a thing, or do people just hook up so they don't sleep by themselves, and then throughout the day they just sleep with whoever they want? Because Jada Black has this story, and this is another man who came home and found out that his wife had 3 children that he thought was his, and they all 3 were somebody else's. And I think this brother snapped and he unalived her. And well, let me let you hear the story. But it's just leading me to believe, with the treatment of the way certain people move, that is horrible treatment of somebody. Now, I'm not saying that this person deserved to be unalived, but I just cannot think of how can you wrap your mind around laying next to somebody holding that type of secret that potentially that not one of this man's babies, not 2 of this man's babies, but 3 babies that this man has loved and took care of, that none of them may be his. You're having unprotected sex while married at the same time of your period or your menstrual cycle or whatever it is, so you can have a baby. You ladies know what I'm talking about. But you got to be having sex with these guys around the same exact time. This is your husband. And so he gets to shoot the club up. This man's wife has gotten her club shot up 3 times by other men. And it's like, just thinking of that, it's just like, holy, my mind is just like, holy sh. Like, who thinks of something like that? How can you do somebody like that? But let's see what happened. I don't think she died, though. I think he got attempted murder. I thought she died initially, but I think she is still alive.
This story that is going viral right now. There's a man from Detroit by the name of Deshaun Floyd. He's 37 years old. He was arrested after going to his wife's job to confront her for cheating on him during the relationship. Do you want to know how he knew that his wife was cheating on him during the marriage? Well, he found out that all 3 of their children are not his. This isn't the first time I've heard this story. I've heard this story several times. I mostly heard these stories on the continent of Africa. I think you may have had a situation here too where, a man finds out a child isn't his, but you haven't really seen it in America, where a man finds out that not 1, not 2, but 3 children that he raised with his wife. Her name is Dominique. And none of the kids are his. He snapped. He flew into a rage. And he went to her job to confront her. And I believe, according to reports, he pistol whipped her and he may have fired shots at her. Let me tell you something, people. She's getting no sympathy from a lot of people. A lot of people are not sympathizing with her. You want to know why? It is because of what she did to this man. Doc is what he calls himself on Facebook. Doc was a man who was in love with his wife. You go to his Facebook page, and his banner is the 3 children who he believed was his, that he was raising with his wife. Only to...
Oh man, that's messed up, because now he looks like a total psycho. Nobody's gonna think he's a good guy when, excuse me, this dude could have had a crime of passion, could have been a great guy up until this point, could have loved his kids, loved her, and just lost it. And now he's going to always be looked at as a weirdo. Probably spend the rest of his life in jail, or a large portion of it. And man, that's crazy. I'm not trying to pick, but look at what she looks like. I'm on YouTube parole, so I look at what she looks like, and had the nerve to cheat. Cheat on, bro. I'll say this. What one may think is trash, another man thinks it's treasure. And there's no vaginas in the junkyard. So just keep that in mind, fellas. While you telling her she ain't gonna never find nothing, ain't no vaginas in the junkyard. One of my homies made sure he remind me of that. A woman is always gonna find something or somebody. May not be who she want. She gonna find somebody. I'm just letting you know. They don't go to the junkyard.
Find out. Now, I don't know what encouraged him to get DNA tests, or did someone close to her tell him this? But that's a lot of screwing during a marriage. And I'm not 100% sure. We're going to get into the article story, but I believe that she probably was dealing with the same man. These women be having long-term friends with benefits who they still have relations with while they are married. They are still sleeping with these friends with benefits during the marriage, unprotected. So she must have been screwing either one dude or other men a lot during the marriage for none of the children to be his. Just imagine you're raising these kids only to find out that none of them are yours. What do you do in that situation? Listen, it's a messed up situation. But I would tell any black man who finds himself in this situation, do not throw your life away. He's getting an attempted unaliving charge over this. An attempted unaliving charge over this. He's sitting in jail on a $1 million bond because this is the ultimate betrayal. He's sitting in jail over the ultimate betrayal. I've said this before. You cannot control how a person reacts when they find out that they have been betrayed this way, because to a man, this is the ultimate betrayal. Cheating is one thing, but when you cheat to the point to where all the children you birth aren't his, and I'm pretty sure she knew it.
So I'll say this, Kwame, they're equals, if that's better to say. Laugh out loud. Man, bro. I can't believe Buddy going down like this, man. I will say this, men, you got to be able to hold yourself together better than this. You got to be able to deal with this in a better manner. I know some people gonna say, hey, F that, she hurt him, but this don't help. This is what's called turning a bad situation worse. That's all this is. He gonna calm down and be in prison and realize this wasn't worth it. This woman is going to continue living her life while he's in prison.
I believe she knew it from the time she got pregnant to the time she conceived. When she looks at them children, she knows they're not his. Women know that. But he doesn't because he's in love with her. And he believes that she's being faithful to him. So let's get into this story. A Detroit man is accused of showing up at his wife's job in Sterling Heights, shooting at her several times, and then pistol whipping her after she tried to run away. Officials said Deshaun Flood, 37, was charged with 2 counts of assault with intent to unalive, 1 count of possession of a firearm by a prohibited person, and 3 counts of felony firearm. According to the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office, he faces up to life in prison on the assault with intent to unalive charges. On Tuesday, Flood allegedly went to his wife's job at the Michigan Rehab Service.
Now he facing life in prison for a woman like that. Not just the way she looked, but just a woman that would be that low down to do something like that to you. She's not even worth you crashing out over. She's not worth you putting your hands on her. She's not worth you going to jail over. She ain't worth Jack Judy. All you got to do is get another. If that's how she treated herself by being a side chick and a wife at the same time, she's just a jump off. You mess around and married a jump off. And so all you had to do was take your same good qualities, if you had them, and take it to another woman that's just not going to abuse those qualities. She's a jump off. You could have let her be a jump off, send her back to the streets. That's it. She was a wife side chick.
Services. Is it Pomeroy Living? It's Pomeroy. Excuse me, Pomeroy Living facility in Sterling Heights, and was waiting for her to arrive. So he went there to meet her at the job. When she got there, Flood allegedly approached her and appeared to be reaching for a weapon in his waistband. His wife tried to take cover in her co-worker's car, but Flood allegedly stopped the door from closing, and then he fired multiple rounds at his wife. That is blind rage. After that, the wife and her co-worker exited the car via the driver's door and started running towards the building. As they were running away, Flood caught his wife and pistol whipped her in the head multiple times. Officers then arrived and Flood was taken into custody. If you look at the mugshot, they must be had to physically subdue him. Now, I don't know if the wife was fight back.
Man, I don't know if it was his wife or the police, but somebody whooped his butt for a little bit. Yeah, he got a bruise on the right side, his nose swollen, jaw swole up, scratched up. Yeah, he got punched on or something, scratched on. Somebody said temporary insanity. So y'all think that he's going to get off? I don't know about that. That's extreme. He going to get a charge for the other girl that was in the car too. He's going to get a charge for that young lady that was in the car as well. So he's going to have 2 charges. He's going to have aggravated assault. He's going to have all kind of stuff. When they really look at this case, if he was shooting and the coworker was around, he's going to get charged with that too.
When I seen this mugshot, just something was a little off because they must have really had to subdue him. That's what I'm going to say. His wife was taken to a local hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The co-worker was not injured, officials said. Well, police got there quick, I will say that. Floyd was arraigned in the 41A District Court on Thursday, July 31st, and his bond was set at $1 million cash surety. If Floyd posts the bond and is released, he must wear a GPS tether and cannot have any contact with the victim. His probable cause conference is scheduled for Thursday, August 7th, which is the date of me recording this. And his preliminary examination is scheduled for Thursday, August 14th. We will prosecute this case vigorously and pursue full accountability through the justice system. Our office is committed to protecting victims and ensuring those who commit such violent acts face the full force of the law. And that is from the McCobb County prosecutor Pete Lucido. Well, he's a victim here. He's a victim of a lying heifer. Now,
Jada Black, so he the victim here. He the victim of a lying heifer. It don't give you right to kill or try to kill unalive. It don't give you a right to try to do that. But man, playing with people like this, I don't know, man. That's a lot.
do I condone his actions? Absolutely not. Because not only did he endanger his wife, he endangered her coworker. But when is she going to have accountability for what she did? He wouldn't have snapped and did this if it wasn't for her and her needing to have outside of the marriage. I'm telling you, when she had those children and those children got older, she could see that they weren't his. Didn't say nothing. He had to find out himself. Both of them are victims in this. I don't condone what he did, but she deserves just as much accountability in this, because she lied to this man and made it seem like he was the father of those children when she knew he wasn't the father of those children. She knew this. Now, again, how he found out, I don't know. So let's get into this. Let's play this news story here. CBS News.
Sterling Heights, where police say a husband shot his wife in her work parking lot. That shooting happened at the Pomeroy Living Center on 15 Mile near DeQuinder. Gino Vici has an update on the victim's condition and the investigation.
Yeah, this is still a very active scene behind me. Take a look at this. Look at the bullet casing markings on the ground here.
Sheesh.
Sterling Heights police saying around 8 o'clock this morning, they received a 911 call that a woman had been shot on the ground here.
Sheesh.
Sterling Heights police.
God, dog. That woman is still alive? 10, 11, 12, 13. Was it more than 13 shell casing? This woman was shot at least 13 times and she's still alive. And she got pistol whipped. Man, that's crazy. That's saying a lot. This woman is here for a real reason. Lord, she is lucky to be here, boy. Man. Golly, this is a lucky woman.
Around 8 o'clock this morning, they received a 911 call that a woman had been shot in the parking lot here at the Pomeroy Living Center off of 15 Mile near DeQuinder. We're told an employee was shot by her husband in the parking lot. We're told they both lived in the city of Warren and that the husband came up to his wife's employer and shot her several times. Police thankfully were able to respond to the scene within seconds. The wife was rushed to a nearby hospital where she is still alive. Police encountered the husband, who was armed with a revolver, and were able to take him into custody. Here is Captain Mario Bastianelli talking about the moment officers encountered the gunman.
Like I said, our officers were here, very quickly. So, which makes all the difference in the world of somebody with a gun and they're actively shooting at people. So this happened to be a targeted incident because it was a domestic situation. But you never know how these things are going to transpire, right? How they're going to work out. Officers show up. You have a guy with a gun. Does he go peacefully, or does this end up, turning into a shootout with our officers? It's a, very stressful situation on everybody, including our officers arriving. All in all, a good ending to a bad situation.
Again, we're told the female victim is expected to survive.
Kimberly said that the baby daddy was his cousin. Where's that updated story at? I need to Google and see if we can find this updated story. I would love to see that story.
Despite being shot several times in the body. And again, her husband has been taken into custody. No word yet on when he could be charged. In Sterling Heights, Gino Vici, CBS News, Detroit.
So that just gives you a visual of what's going on. It's a lot of shots. The guy was angry. Again, I don't condone doing this. I'm all about just walking away. Again, that was the story of the guy. He's an African guy. He went to work in Canada. He wanted to move his family to Canada. He found out that none of his 3 children were his. He didn't get violent. He just left her on the continent, and he just moved to Canada by himself. Sometimes you have to walk away, but for some people, if they've invested so much time, energy, and effort, the children know him as their father into that relationship, he probably missed out on other women who probably wanted to.
Y'all can go watch the rest of it on Jada Black. Yeah, I don't think you should crash out. No, sir. Just get you a new one. It's gonna hurt for a little while, but you'll get over it. Time will heal it. You don't crash out. So listen, guys, we got this story about this cop in I think this is in Georgia. This is a Georgia officer. I think this is right here in Atlanta. So let's check this one out.
Life of a young sheriff's deputy, but also sparked one of the most controversial trials in Fulton County's recent history. This is the story of Deputy James Thomas and the man who would stand accused of taking his life, 26-year-old Alton Oliver. It all began in the early morning hours of December 29th, 2022, on Bolton Road in Northwest Atlanta. James Thomas had finished his shift the night before. The 24-year-old deputy was off duty, driving his personal car on his day off. Where he was headed and why he was on Bolton Road that morning has never been fully explained. Meanwhile, just a short distance away, another young man was making his way home. Alton Oliver had just gotten off work. A coworker gave him a ride and dropped him off near Bolton Road so he could walk the rest of the way home. 2 men, strangers from completely different worlds, were about to cross paths in a way that would end in tragedy. At around 4:30 a.m. on December 29, 2022, Atlanta police received reports of a car accident and possible shots fired near the intersection of Bolton Road and Peyton Road. When officers arrived, they found 24-year-old James Thomas, a newly hired Fulton County Sheriff's deputy, slumped in the driver's seat of his crashed car. He had been shot and was pronounced gone at the scene. Investigators quickly determined that this was not just a tragic accident, it was a homicide. James Thomas was described as the kind of person people gravitated toward. Originally from Mississippi, he was funny, bubbly, and always quick with a joke. His friends said he lit up every room he entered. Law enforcement was his dream. After working with the Milledgeville Police Department, he joined the Fulton County Sheriff's Office in August 2022. The Fulton County Sheriff.
Either he was pretty tall or this dude was a midget. Both of those dudes were short. He came from Mississippi to Atlanta. Is that your cousin? No, I don't know. Or I didn't know.
Personally recruited him, describing James as the life of the party and a young man full of energy who loved his work. At just 24 years old, his career was just beginning. Atlanta police launched an immediate investigation. 4 days later, detectives tracked down their suspect. Using dashcam footage from nearby truck drivers and surveillance cameras in the city's Connect Atlanta system, they identified Alton Oliver. He was arrested during a traffic stop at his workplace and charged in connection to James Thomas' slaying. According to initial reports, police believe the 2 men got into some sort of altercation or argument that escalated, resulting in James losing his life. To the public, it seemed straightforward. A promising young deputy's life was taken by a stranger. But the courtroom would tell a far more complicated story. When the trial began in August 2025, both sides agreed on one thing. James Thomas approached Alton more than once that morning in December 2022. But what happened during those encounters and why was hotly debated. According to testimony given during the trial, on that fateful December morning, Alton Oliver was just walking along Bolton Road. That's when he noticed a car pull up beside him. Inside was Deputy James Thomas, though Alton didn't know who he was at the time. According to Alton, James allegedly rolled down the window and tried to get his attention and offered him a ride along with explicit, unwanted, intimate propositions. Alton said no and kept walking. Time. According to Alton, James allegedly rolled down the window and tried to get his attention and offered him a ride along with explicit, unwanted, intimate propositions.
So you mean to tell me in Atlanta, they just riding up on people that just walking, pulling up? This is a cop that he had such a promising career that he just riding up on men, walking up the side of the road and allegedly offering them a ride and offering them sex. I'm in YouTube jail.
Alton said no and kept walking. But then the car came back a second time. This time, Alton claimed James's approach was even bolder. Again, he brushed it off and continued walking. When the car returned a third time, Alton later claimed that it came toward him faster, headlights off, closing the distance. At that moment, Alton said he panicked. He believed he was being targeted, cornered, and that his life was in danger. He pulled out his weapon he carried on his waistband and fired 2 shots into the car that was 40 feet away. The shots rang out just as another vehicle, a van, was passing by. The driver later told police he saw James's car swerving erratically right before he heard the shots. Moments later, the deputy's car collided with another vehicle and came to a stop. Prosecutors told the jury this was a simple case of malice intent. They argued that Alton overreacted, firing his weapon when there was no real threat. The defense, however, painted a starkly different picture. They argued Alton was preyed upon by a man, an off-duty deputy, who initiated 3 separate unwanted encounters with someone who was simply walking home.
He was surveilling my client. He was harassing my client. He was soliciting my client. The only person at the time those shots were fired who was violating the law was Mr. Thomas.
When Alton took the stand in a rare and risky move, his voice shook as he recounted the fear he felt when James allegedly circled back again and again. He testified that James told him to get in, let me give you a ride, and offered to perform an intimate act. He declined each time. He later testified saying, as he got closer, I got spooked. I pulled my firearm from my waistband and I fired it in his direction.
He comes back with the headlights off. He blurs out saying, get in, let me get a ride, get close. I get spooked. I pull my firearm from my waistband and I point it in direction.
The prosecution attempted to poke holes in his story because when Alton initially spoke with police, he never mentioned the unwanted advances. His reasonings was because he was still in shock and that he didn't want to say too much without a lawyer present. They also questioned why he left the scene, and he stated he just wanted to go home, and he was not aware that he had actually harmed anyone or taken a life.
Didn't you tell the detectives that you knew it was wrong to leave the scene?
I knew it was wrong to leave the scene, but I didn't leave the scene as far as trying to run or hide or anything. I just went home. I was focused on getting home. I didn't know the person had died. I said that to you already. I didn't know the person. I did not know if I had hit the person, no harm the person.
The jury deliberated for 9 hours. Then, on August 15th, 2025, the verdict was read. In a tense moment, the judge accidentally announced Alton Oliver was guilty of all charges.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty as to all 6 counts of the bill of indictment. Sheriff, will you please hand this to his counsel?
Before quickly correcting himself.
And pass it over to... Did I say not? No. Sorry. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty on all 6 counts.
Sit down.
I apologize for my mispronunciation.
Alton was acquitted of all charges. He broke down in relief, hugging his attorneys. For Alton, the verdict meant freedom, but for James's family, it meant devastation. They had lost their son, their brother, their loved one, and now no one would face punishment for his slaying. James's friends remember him as a young man with big dreams, someone who loved to laugh, who wanted nothing.
Man, listen here. I ain't gonna lie. I probably would have got a charge cussing that judge out. How in the world you the judge and you gonna read out that I'm guilty and forget the not guilty? Man, how you gonna scare somebody like that? That man went from feeling like his heart was probably in his buttocks, pause, and then he got to jump back up and get happy after that. You talk about a roller coaster. That man need a Ambien. That man need a what is that other drug that people on? Not no damn Molly. What's that one? Adderall. He need all kind of shit, boy. That's crazy. He said guilty on all 6 charges. You went from your life gone to your life back. That man died and came back while he was breathing. KB, man, what the hell? Something just ain't right. I don't know. This dude must have been getting away with that a lot. I don't know. Is Bolton Road a road where all the little, the freakazoids hang out at? Something ain't right where he thought Bolton Road was the right road to go to. Why Bolton Road? That's crazy. But let's hear a little bit more of this. Matter of fact, let's end this. The guy got acquitted. Let's go to this one. We got another story. This guy shot somebody in a wheelchair over stolen valor. That's what he accused this guy of doing, which is pretending like he was in the military. But turns out the guy was actually in the military. He did have an airsoft gun in his hand, but he says he was reaching for his ID. But here's what happened.
Break down what they show, tell you about the criminal charges the shooter is facing and what's going to happen in his criminal case moving forward. First, I want to warn you, this video is graphic. It shows somebody who gets shot, but the victim in this case survived and has since been released from the hospital. So with that, let's give you a little bit of background about what happened that day. It was July 31st. It was an afternoon, 4:30 in the afternoon on the busy Seattle waterfront when 2 men got into a conflict. Now, according to a police report, one man, the victim, was in a wheelchair and he had patches on his wheelchair that identified him as a veteran. Another man, who police identify as Gregory Tim, comes up to the man in the wheelchair and accuses him of stolen valor, which is essentially pretending to be a member of the military or a veteran when you aren't actually one. Now, that's what starts the conflict, but whatever was happening between those two obviously attracted attention from bystanders because at least one person pulled out his cell phone and started recording. Now, let's go into that first video, which shows these 2 men sort of squaring off. Now, the shooter in this case is in the red shirt and the hat, and you can not really knowing what was going on. The man in the red, who again is identified as Tim, then starts yelling that he held a gun on him. So let's let this video play out just a little bit here. And sort of the aftermath on me. He apologized. Video number 2, because it zooms in very quickly on the man's head. said that according to police report, he did have an airsoft gun, which does seem to be established. That attracted a lot of attention. We sent news crews down there. There was a massive police response to this, and they were able to quickly apprehend the shooter here, who's identified as Gregory Tim. So now I'm going to walk you through the court documents that were filed in this case and give you a little bit about the background here. Now, so the prosecutors, the first thing they do when they file these criminal charges is they lay out a request for bail. And in this case, they asked for bail of $750,000. There's a few things from their bail request that stick out to me. They say that Tim was the one who provoked this whole conflict at first. I'm just going to read a little bit here. It says, in this case, the defendant, Tim, approached the victim who was in a wheelchair on the boardwalk of the waterfront near Starbucks, as he demanded the victim provide identification to prove his military status. As the victim was taking out his wallet, the defendant removed a military patch from the victim's belongings. So again, Tim, the accused shooter here, according to prosecutors, removed a patch from the victim's wheelchair. This caused the victim to...
It says, welcome to Bus Life News and Reviews. Salute to you. Salute, salute. So the dude removed a patch from his wheelchair. The defendant approached the victim who was in a wheelchair on the boardwalk, waterfront, near Starbucks, man. The victim provide ID. Like, he's not even a cop. How can you demand somebody to provide ID? And was the person who is asking all this, is he in the military? Was he even in the military?
To arm himself with a knife. The defendant continued to demand the victim show his ID, and the victim pulled out a holstered airsoft gun. Before the victim could even do anything with it, the defendant pulled out his handgun, pointed it at the victim, and shot him point blank in the chest. And that's what we just watched in the video. According to the prosecutors, they say this was a completely unnecessary act of violence committed by the defendant to a vulnerable victim who was confined in his wheelchair. Now, then they go on and they have more of the police narrative, but it basically backs up what I've already told you here about the fact that these two are getting into this dispute over whether or not there's stolen valor, whether this guy's pretending to be a member of the military. He told the police that he is actually a military veteran and actually had his ID with him. But it seems to be sort of a random confrontation. It's not clear why Tim,
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Why did the other dude out of nowhere just come up to the dude and say, give me your ID? And what makes you think that this man gotta show you an ID? Y'all tell me, does somebody that's on the street gotta show their ID? The people that's in the military, they gotta show their ID? No, that don't make sense to me. Well, let me see something. I don't know what that is. Hold on.
accused shooter here would have taken such an exception to this man identifying himself as a veteran and being down on the Seattle waterfront. So basically that goes through. He ends up getting charged with assault in the first degree. Now, one of the questions I've seen people asking on social media, they say, why is he just charged with assault and not attempted murder? In the state of Washington, assault in the first degree is a very serious criminal charge, and it can come with potential for decades in prison. So it's not surprising to me why prosecutors filed assault in the first degree charges. Second thing I've seen on social media is a question being asked about, well, if this guy in the wheelchair did pull out an airsoft gun or did have a knife, then isn't this an act of self-defense? Well, at the time the charges were filed, we took that question to the prosecutor's office, and they said because Gregory Tim is the initial aggressor, according to the prosecutors, he started the fight. He then cannot turn, when that escalates, he then can't turn around and say, this is an act of self-defense. Now,
and that makes sense. You can't start something and then somebody reach for a weapon and you say, well, I killed him because, or I unalived him because he reached for a weapon. But you started something. He got a right to defend himself. So you got the drop on them, but you about to go to jail. Here go another video. No, not this one. This one. You show y'all this video. Just some more news and celebrity stuff. This is Lil Baby. Let's see what's going on.
On stage with crazy, suspectful, shorts, which made him appear gay. No hate to gay people, but it was very weird and off about Lil Baby's energy and demeanor, and also him getting tattoos, something that he never ever, thought about taking or ever glorified to have ever in the future. So it's very alarming on what could possibly be happening to Lil Baby as of recently behind closed doors.
Why do Lil Baby's legs look so strange after getting a tattoo? As time went by, Lil Baby changed his mind and decided to break his promise of never getting a tattoo. At the recent music festival, he appeared on stage with a new tattoo on his thigh. However, people noticed that his walking posture and the way his legs swayed to the music were very strange, and they even looked like newly installed prosthetics. Moreover, observant netizens pointed out that his clothing was very off, and this wasn't Lil Baby himself at all. In fact, this is related to a significant transformation of Lil Baby. Firstly, he tried to show off his new tattoo. Lil Baby not only shaved his leg hair, but also wore extremely short jeans. But from a professional perspective, it is not recommended to expose the tattoo directly to the air in the initial stage after getting a tattoo. This is very likely to cause intense pain, making it difficult for him to move his.
Kalinda Barber became a YouTube member. Thanks. Salute to you. Man, not Lil Baby.
Legs. Secondly, he emphasized that this was just a new beginning, and he would have more crazy tattoos in the future. It is said that he no longer cares about how others perceive him, and now focuses more on doing things that make him happy.
Social media has been full of comments. Some say it's just Lil Baby maturing and focusing on himself. Others think something bigger is happening behind the scenes. Maybe stress, maybe personal issues, or maybe he's just tired of the industry's constant pressure. When an artist that big changes the vibe, the fans always pick on it incredibly fast. If you listen closely, even the music has a different tone. It's not worse, but it feels more, reserved, like he's speaking from a different place in life. That's normal. Artists do grow. Their mindset changes to ignore. It's from the bump shots on stage to his different tone of music. As of recently, Lil Baby appeared on Plex live stream, and this stream has one of the most craziest backlashes ever. Baby basically his goons in the vicinity were just off. The mood was down.
Next 5 minutes, we gonna go half and half. All on the whole stream. Nigga trying to dap me up. That's disrespectful. Man. All donos go to you. Yeah. Nigga trying to dap me up. That's disrespectful, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm wilding. Next 5 minutes, we gonna go half and half. All on the whole stream. So we gonna do 25,000 this stream. Whoa.
And let's just be honest, it's a streaming platform. Like expects Lil Baby to be turned up, a little bit of freestyles, just to engage the fucking people who are watching the streams. Aren't streams meant for that? To engage, entertain people? I don't think streams are just meant just to be sitting down and just bad energy all the time. Streamings are meant to entertain people. I mean, look back at streams where Aiden Ross had Tory Lanez, Free Tory Lanez. They were vibing and they made a song, and this song went completely viral. And we have Lil Baby just being a bummer, refusing to freestyle, which just shows that there's something off about Lil Baby. Like, the stream hasn't even yet started properly, and you're asking for a 50% share of the stream. It's like it really killed Lil Baby's reputation, because he should have enough money. Lil Baby should have enough money to retire, 30 families or whatever. And for him to be so quick to just dump into the money side, it just really kills this, image he has for himself. He looks desperate. Like, what happened to Lil Baby?
But they be thinking these guys have all the money in the world, but it's tied to this rapper, that rapper, this producer, this protection, this and that. So they don't be having the money y'all think that they have. They got the shine, they got the image of the money. Yeah, they got the shine, they got the image of the money, but that's about it. They don't have the money. They do not have the money, Jack. Where is this video? Oh no, I ain't playing that. There's this one. We're done with this Lil Baby thing. Let's play this one.
No, it ain't even like that. Charges been dropped. I don't know. I'm not gonna even shout that boy much. I get with praying for his family. Because it's a tough situation. Y'all been talking about my cousin so fucking bad. Y'all been talking about my cousin so motherfucking. Charges dropped. Ain't no justified shit. And I'm looking how I'm looking. 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 Are we on that? Charges dropped? Y'all talking about? Y'all been talking all that about my cousin. My cousin's a good nigga. He made a bad decision. Man, them folks. And I'm still praying for his family. I'm still praying for his family. He ain't gonna do no time. I'm still praying for his family. And I hope his family praying for mine too. But we both took a loss.
Fine. What you do if you walk into your home and you found someone else in the bed with your partner? Would you gonna walk away or would you snap? In Alabama, that question just turned deadly. And the person who lost their life was a beloved football coach. We got another story coming out of Alabama. And I need y'all to tap in because this one gonna bring some strong opinions. Fam, a lot of people calling the story we about to discuss a crime of passion, while others say it's clear-cut murder and the man need to face the full consequences. We're talking about a beloved football coach in his late 30s, well-respected in the community, which we'll pay our respects to, while another man was just getting off work trying to provide for his household. He was gunned out, the gun down, was married. On top of that, balcony, which was what she considered to her close friends. But it was shocking. She didn't speak up for her boyfriend, the guy home she was in. She spoke up for the married man who was gunned down, assuming she didn't expect that her close friends would screenshot her post and blast it all over social media. Well, that's the case. And that came after she deactivated her Facebook. Now, fam, you would think this answer clear-cut. But as we go over this, I want y'all to ask yourself, who really in the wrong here? The married coach for being in? Or the boyfriend who was taking the law into his own hands? Or is this one of those situations where everybody crossed the line and tragedy was the only possible income? Because yes, age differences can raise eyebrows, but once you're 21, you're legal. That's just reality. Still, the choices made here cost the man his life. And his cousin has now spoken up publicly, which we'll later check out after charges were filed. But before you we are public information that attended. Now, if this happened now, he was a coach then, we cannot say for certain that this possibly didn't go on while in high school. So that's just something y'all need to think about. Let's continue with the story. A once standout college football wide receiver who went by the name of Demetrius Beverly, 38 years old. He played for UAPB. Beverly was a proud member of the Golden Lions from 2003 to 2007 and was part of the 2006 SWAC Western Division Championship team. Beverly was a graduate of Parker High School where he played football and baseball. He returned to his school in 2020 as a part-time assistant football coach. He was a mentor, husband, father, and a friend whose impact will live on through countless lives he touched. Between them, either flip a coin or have sex tiebreaker. I'm just saying. The last one I want to point out, he said, if I can build my perfect girl, she would have my ex-girlfriend ways, my after-college girl looks, have a body like the track star I dated, and have the brains of a nerd I cheated off of, my perfect girl. But on Wednesday night, August 13, 2025, a tragedy struck at the Lake Shore Ridge Apartments in South Birmingham. Demetrius Beverly, a coach who inspired many young people in Birmingham, was shot and killed inside a bedroom. According to reports, an adult male came home from work and found Beverly with a woman who was deemed his girlfriend inside the apartment. Moments later, Beverly was fatally shot. That wasn't just allegedly his girlfriend. That was also allegedly his apartment. The woman was later identified as Jamia Lawson, 23 years old, a former Parker High School student. She was in a relationship with DeCorleone Keyshawn, 23 years old. He also had access to the Ring camera. He decided to come home early, not thinking nothing of it, and that's why people assuming that the victim had allegedly climbed the balcony. His girlfriend quickly...
Wait. He had access to the Ring camera? So somebody brought a person to their home when there's Ring cameras that the dude has access to? I'm in YouTube jail, so I can't say that.
He called 911. Officers arrived and found Beverly unresponsive in the bedroom of the apartment. He was pronounced deceased on the scene. May he rest in peace. Love of condolences to his family. and Jameer's boyfriend was later arrested.
To breaking news that we first told you about yesterday morning. A Birmingham High School football. We have a new update this morning to breaking news that we first told you about yesterday morning. A Birmingham High School football coach killed in a deadly shooting this morning. The man charged in that killing waking up behind bars. Parker High School shared this post of Demetrius Beverly. The school says he was an assistant football coach. He was also a former football and baseball player with the Thundering Herd. The school went on to say that Coach Beverly, quote, gave his all to the Thundering Herd on the field and in our community. He was a mentor, a husband, a father, and friend whose impact will live on through the countless lives he touched. DeCorleon Robinson is charged with Beverly's murder. Beverly was found dead at Lakeshore Ridge Apartments Wednesday night. Police say Robinson was arrested in the complex's parking lot. He is now in the Jefferson County Jail being held without bond.
Now, still with so many unanswered questions, the football coach cousin had briefly spoke on social media after all the backlash that her cousin was getting. She cleared some things up. Check out about 5 minutes of this 30-minute live.
Charges have been. But that boy charged 5, and that boy had that switch on him. Fuck y'all talking about. Somebody got to speak for him. Free nothing. Get what? We still gonna say free him, cause like I said, I'm praying for his family too. You know why? Cause that girl put my cousin in a fucked up situation. Get what? You don't know what they family did. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Seen a lot of shit.
Wait a minute. Let me say this, cause I'm damn near for it. I'm a real bitch. Get what? I'ma pray for his family. What? I ain't gonna do that. Toy, I'm a real. I ain't doing that. I'm a real. I'm a real. Get what? Get what? I'm 10 for tattoo to a certain. I got common sense. So get what? Get what? I'm gonna pray for his family too. You know why? That girl put my cousin and that boy in a situation. Praying for his family too, cause it's fucked up. I'm a real. Y'all fucked up and thought that boy was gonna get off on. I been knew. Why y'all?
Hey y'all, this is the young lady who just gave me a headache. I just lost some brain cells dealing with her. I was gonna do an hour and a half, but hey, listen, I'm going to bed. Thank y'all. Appreciate everybody for the super chats. Anybody who super chatted, appreciate you. Anybody who commented respectfully, I appreciate you as well. This young lady, she did it for me. I got a headache. Y'all have a blessed night. I'm up out of this thing. I'm gone.